bottom of my heart, I personally don't think you're gonna like about what I'm about to say about Monday Night Raw. I'm just gonna put it out there. The show last night sucked. The show last night absolutely sucked. I cannot believe that WWE is still continuing to give us terrible Monday Night Raw shows. I can't believe they're still continuing to do it. Even when I said they need to be giving us better Monday Night Raw shows. And yet, they won't listen. That's just like the same with JD on his Off the Script podcast, on his Monday Night Raw review. Even he said the show sucked. Even all the other podcasters said the show sucked. And I agree. The show sucked. I agree with him. The show freaking sucked. And Nia Jax is already an abomination to the women's division. We don't even need to see her on TV. So, you might as well, folks, you might as well turn the channel. I mean, seriously, turn the channel. Why are we seeing Nia Jax on TV? Turn the channel. Seriously. Seriously. And Apollo Crews' return from injury was really good. It was good to see Apollo Crews back. Of course, I'm going to be saying this again because I'm going to be getting to that Kevin Owens and Apollo Crews versus Angel Garza and Andrade match later on. Meantime, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. This is Brandon Ingram here, back here with another review today. So, I, of course, going to be reviewing last night's Monday Night Raw. Before I get started reviewing Monday Night Raw, first of all, please be sure you hit that like, subscribe button, and turn on all bell for all notifications, so you won't miss all my Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT reviews that I do every week on my channel. I try to give y'all the best review possible. I mean, it may not be good, but I try to give you the information, and I try to give you, the best NXT, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown reviews. So, anyways, before I officially get started with the review, though, seriously, I also want to say that this show sucked. I want to say it again so bad. I want to say it a million times. The show sucked. The show sucked. The show freaking sucked. I just want to keep saying it, because until WWE learn and realize, man, that they are not boosting up the Raw ratings, giving us terrible segments and terrible matches is not going to fix the ratings. Putting Charlotte on 3 brands is not going to fix the ratings. Putting Nia Jax on TV to ruin Asuka's celebration is not going to boost up the ratings. And putting Shayna Baszler in a match against Natalya again is not going to boost up the ratings. Oh, most importantly, bringing Austin Theory down is not going to boost up the ratings. I don't understand why WWE's bringing Austin Theory back down again. He was up the ladder. Why are they bringing him back down the ladder? WWE's making mistakes yet again. Here we go. Making mistakes yet again. I don't get it. I don't understand. What in the world's going on here? There is no need to be putting Charlotte on all 3 brands. She has a brand. She has NXT. She has a brand. But then again, it does make sense for her to be on all 3 brands because she has been champion on all 3 brands. But I'm just saying, why would you make Charlotte Flair travel to the Performance Center day after day after day? I mean, I'm pretty sure that WWE needs to give her some kind of break or vacation or something, because this is crazy. Come on now. I mean, really. We've seen Charlotte Flair on TV every week. I mean, I enjoy seeing Charlotte Flair on TV every week, and I have the mutual respect for Charlotte Flair. But they are putting Charlotte Flair on too many brands, and that's not cool. That's not sitting well with a lot of people. And I guarantee you that's probably not sitting well with Charlotte herself. Even Charlotte herself probably thinks that putting her on brands is probably too much. And it's probably wasting her time spending time with her boyfriend Andrade. It's probably a waste of that time. It probably wastes her time spending time with Andrade, I bet. Her boyfriend, Andrade. Or should I say her husband? Anyway. But I think that was a terrible idea by WWE putting Charlotte on all three brands. Let's be honest. Putting the when they were putting the SmackDown back on the Iconics, I think. I don't know if my mic was on or not. I sure pretty to hope my mic was on because I think I just turned it back on. I don't think my mic got the whole thing. Hold on, hold on, hold on, folks. I may have to repeat myself again. Repeat the whole. I may have to repeat everything I said again because I think I had my mic off, and that's bad. please tell me that I don't have to repeat what I had just said again. I hope I didn't repeat what I hope my mic was not off when I started the live stream. See, now I can't even talk right. I was doing a good job at it too. Now I can't talk right now. I was doing a hell of a good job at it too. Now I fucking messed up. And this could have been right on the money too. Wait a second. Oh, my mic was on when I was talking. Good. Okay, I was making sure. I was checking something. I thought I was tripping. Folks, I thought I was tripping. I thought my mic was off. Oh, my mic was off. My mic was off. Folks, my mic was off the whole time. My mic was off. I turned it off. I don't know why I turned it off. NXT, she has a brand. I mean, I enjoy seeing Charlotte Flair on TV. And I have listen to what I said. Listen to what I just said listen to what I just said in the video. And I guarantee you that's probably not sitting well with Charlotte herself. Even Charlotte herself probably thinks that putting her on brands is probably too much. And it's probably wasting her time spending time with Andrade. It's probably a waste of that time. Oh yeah, I told that truth. Or should I say your husband? Yep. Truth. I mean, truth be told. Look, I think that was a terrible idea by WWE putting Charlotte on all three brands. Let's be honest. Yeah, I also think it was terrible by WWE putting Charlotte on three brands. I also think that it was terrible that WWE put Shayna Baszler and get another match against Natalya when we already know she was going to win. We knew she was going to win. Why did they do that? And then you already got Nia Jax. Nia Jax is already an abomination to the women's division. And then, you know, Shayna Baszler being put in a match against Natalya. Again, like I said, there was no need for her to put her in a match against Natalya because we knew she was gonna beat Natalya by submission. We knew she was gonna defeat her by submission. And then on top of that, it seems like WWE is bringing Austin Theory down rather than bringing him up. That's just like what they did with Angel Garza. Bring them up, bring them down. Now they're bringing Angel Garza back up. Now they're bringing Austin Theory down. Now Austin Theory has parted ways with the group. Now he is Seth Rollins' new disciple. Now he's Seth Rollins' new disciple. Which to me is not making sense either. And the fact that Apollo Crews returned, he had the reason to return. He was injured. He was injured, man. Maybe Apollo Crews could be turning heel on Kevin Owens. Maybe that's a possibility. Maybe that's a possibility we need to be keeping an eye on. Yeah, this show really sucked, folks. I'm telling you right now, this show sucked. Alright. I'm sorry I had my mic off for about 20, 30, 40 minutes. I was doing good and then I messed it up. But it's okay. I'm sure somebody was watching and they took note. I'm sure somebody was listening to me and they took note and they took notice that my mic was off. I'm sure they'll tell me on my in the comments. Sorry about my mic being off for about 30, 20 minutes. I didn't realize I cut it off until then. But You could still hear part of me talking in the beginning of the video. Before I officially get started with the review. See? I figured you might all want to hear what I have to say again, because I'm telling the truth, man. All of this is true. Whether people take it as fiction or science or whatever they want to take it, all of this what I'm saying is true. I just want to keep saying it, because until WWE learn and realize, man, that they are not boosting up the Raw ratings, giving us terrible segments and terrible matches. I mean, it's not going to boost. Charlotte on 3 brands, it's not going to fix the ratings. Putting Nia Jax on TV to ruin Asuka's celebration is not going to boost up the ratings. And putting Shayna Baszler in a match against the Please listen, guys, folks. Please listen. Oh, most importantly, bringing Austin Theory down is not going to boost up the ratings. I don't understand why WWE's bringing Austin Theory. All this crap is the truth, man. All this crap is the most truth. It's the beyond the truth. And it's the most importantly, the truth behind it. Beyond the truth, most importantly, the truth behind it. For the simple fact that this show sucked. It's only sucked for 6 weeks. Now it's going on 7th week. Now week number 7, the show sucking again. Anyways, folks, let's get started with the review. I'm not going to go any more further, because you know what? At this point, WWE's not going to listen. You know, they're not going to boost up the Raw ratings. They're going to keep continuing to give us terrible shows until this fucking quarantine is over, apparently. From what I'm told by my sources. From my sources on Twitter, anyway. I do have sources on Twitter. They tell me stuff. They remind me stuff. They don't even have to mention my name on Twitter, and they just tell me stuff and I read it. Look, I ain't dumb, okay? I ain't some douchebag. I ain't Mario Luigi, alright? Look, I'm not stupid. I ain't that stupid. I'm certainly not Wario. I'm not some douchebag in a trash bag. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started with the show. So this week's Raw opens up with a look back at Becky Lynch's pregnancy announcement and Asuka's subsequent crowning as Raw Women's Champion. Let's be honest, Nia Jax was right when Asuka got handed the Raw Women's Champion. She did get handed the Raw Women's Champion, but Nia Jax is still an abomination to the women's division. And it also makes people want to turn the channel, too. Just saying. Oh my god, I was laughing at JD's podcast. Folks, turn the fucking channel! Nia Jackson's an abomination. Turn the channel! And then that part, he's like, oh, JD's a sexist. Oh, JD's a sexist. I mean, JD tells the truth on his he tells the truth on his Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and NXT reviews. He don't lie. I mean, folks, you gotta listen to the man sometime. I mean, the guy's telling the truth about what's going on in WWE. He's not stupid. I mean, you all that keep sending him these hate mail messages are just only pissing him off even more. Are only just motivating him even more. You know, the more hate mails you send him, the more motivation he gets. You know. And I'm pretty sure he knows what's going on in WWE more than anybody else that's ever sent them those hate mails. And I'm pretty sure he knows more in WWE than anybody else in the world, I'm sure. And you know what I'm talking about, JD from NY, of course. The guy that just released his off-the-script Monday Night Raw review on his channel, YouTube channel. Be sure you check that out, because I'm definitely going to be watching his Monday Night Raw review on his off-the-script podcast, because I'm definitely going to be believing everything he said after what the fuck I just saw on Monday Night Raw. Oh my fucking god, holy fuck, man. That show sucked. I'm just saying. Anyways. So yeah, of course it opened up with Becky Lynch's pregnancy announcement. Of course I told y'all that. Crowning as Raw Women's Champion. Oh, Charlie Caruso was in the ring. And she introduces Randy Orton. Charlie asked Randy to explain the challenge. And he asked if the term straight up wrestling match is so hard to understand. He says wrestling forms the basis of everything WWE is. You wrestle all year round to try and get on WrestleMania. And at this year's show, he's man enough to admit that Edge was better. But he knows deep down that he is the better wrestler. Oh, and by the way, I've released 3 videos. I've posted and released 3 new videos on YouTube. One with, what is it? One with Shayna Baszler versus Natalia on Monday Night Raw on WWE 2K20. Another one with Champion versus Champion, Drew McIntyre versus Andrade on Monday Night Raw on 2K20. WWE 2K20 is what I'm referring to. And another one with Finn Balor, with Cameron Grimes with Damian Priest ringside versus the Prince Finn Balor on NXT on WWE 2K20. So if y'all want to see those 3 videos, be sure you check that out. You'll find out some information. I have some information in all 3 of those descriptions below. Especially the one where I said Damian Priest was the attacker. He's the one that attacked Finn Balor. Anyways, if you want to check out those 3 videos, like I said, go to my YouTube channel. They'll be there. If you see where it says uploads, they're there. Okay, back to what I was reading. So, the straight up wrestling match was so hard to understand. He says wrestling forms the basis of everything WWE is. You wrestle all year round to try and get on WrestleMania, and this year's show, he's man enough to admit that Edge was better, but he knows deep down that he is better wrestler, and he doesn't need chairs or ladders to prove it. So, you mean to tell me Randy Orton doesn't want to use chairs and ladders to prove it? Wow. That sounds like a real wrestler to me. That sounds like the real Viper to me. That sounds like the legend killer, the real Viper. Randy Orton from the past. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. Anyways, Orton says any athlete can wrestle, but very few can do what he does, including Edge. And then Orton looks into the camera and addresses Edge. He says he knows why Edge didn't accept the challenge. It was written all over his face. It was written all over his face. What the hell is he talking about? All that greed and passion is gone and has been replaced by doubt and fear. I don't know if y'all noticed. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Because I didn't understand that. Anyways. Yep. That's exactly what it says, folks. That's exactly what it says. Yep. All that great passion. Where the fuck was I reading? All the great passion is gone, and he's been replaced by doubt and fear. Edge comes to the ring. Oh yeah, let me put Edge up. The Edge that I'm referring to is this Edge right here. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Now you all see what I'm talking about? Yeah, that one. That Edge. Yeah, there you go. That's that one. That Edge, the one that defeated, Eddie Guerrero. The one that defeated, The Undertaker. Who else? Alright, who else did he defeat in WWE? Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Batista, Umaga. I mean, there's plenty of few people he defeated in WWE. Anyways, yeah, Edge comes to the ring. The Rated R Superstar says that Orton speak a lot of truth. last week and made him think he knows Orton is playing chess and it's just a game. A paycheck to him. Orton smiles and Edge says he gets it. Randy is the most talented man he's ever seen in a wrestling ring, but this isn't the life Randy wanted. This is a backup plan. And yes, Orton is different than all the rest because he doesn't care. He didn't go to bed at night dreaming of being a WWE champion like he did. Oh, folks, keep in mind that the reason why Raw is struggling right now is because of the WWE writers and the productive team, and because of Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is playing a role into the reason why the Raw ratings have dropped. By the way, gotta blame him for that too. Old man Vince, hate to blame you, but you're part of the reason why the Raw ratings are going down and why the SmackDown ratings are going down. Anyways, just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyways, Orton didn't save all his allowance to go to a show at the end of the month like he did. Orton didn't cry when he won the Intercontinental Championship like he did, because it meant he was becoming one of the best workhorses the company has ever seen. Edge sees Orton's never had to fight. Never had to battle for 9 years to get back to what he loves. And he wouldn't. Orton tells him to shut up and make a decision. Edge shouts that he accepts. Then Orton smiles and leaves the ring slowly. A replay was shown of last week when Seth Rollins jammed Rey Mysterio's eye into the steel steps. We see Murphy and Rollins backstage. And Seth says he's had a revelation and he wants to tell the world. That Randy Orton and Edge feud seems to be cooking up something on Monday Night Raw. Hopefully, Edge and Randy Orton gives us the best match of their careers. Hopefully, they will go at it with each other this time, because that last man standing match sucked. I can tell you that right now. That last man standing match was terrible. It's time for them to be giving us a better match. One-on-one, in a ring, going at it. These guys going at it. We want to see it. We want this to be the greatest wrestling match ever. Charlie Caruso, I hope you're right. Just saying. Because you did interview Edge and Orton. I mean, you were in the ring. I mean, Charlie Caruso was in the ring. She was part of the feud with Edge and Randy Orton. She was in the story. Anyways. Well, the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins, made his way to the ring along with, let's see, if I recall it, let me put up a name. If I recall it, he was in the ring with, the best kept secret, so-called. Well, he's not the best kept secret anymore. He's just simply Seth Rollins' disciple, Buddy Murphy. Oh shit, I just had him on the screen. He just glitched off the screen. Son of a bitch. Maybe today ain't my day after all. I should have been asleep already, but it's like that's not gonna happen until my review's over anyway. Monday Night Messiah makes his way to the ring alongside his disciple. Rollins says that sometimes in life you have to lose who you are to find yourself. When he lost to Drew McIntyre at Money in the Bank, part of himself felt he'd lost everything, and he fell into dark despair. But without darkness, there can be no light. And he has seen it. And that is all thanks to one man, Rey Mysterio. Rollins says that what happened to Ray has been described as heinous and disgusting, but he sees it as unfortunate but necessary, a sacrifice for the greater good. It was the moment he needed to become the leader he was meant to be. Rollins says that Ray is at home, healing, and he knows he can't see it right now. But soon enough, he will understand that what happened was a blessing and digest. So he'll say it. He'll say it so that Ray doesn't have to. He says, "You're welcome." Oh! And then Humberto Carrillo comes out and says nobody believes Seth. He says Ray is a hero to millions and his personal idol. All that Seth is a coward. Humberto slides into the ring and Murphy stands between him and Seth. Rollins says that he appreciates what Humberto is doing, but he's clearly not ready for a fight. But his disciple has a match later tonight with Aleister Black, and he's ready. So if it's a fight he wants, he can have it. So it was basically Humberto Carrillo versus Buddy Murphy with Seth Rollins ringside. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to say that no one was interested in seeing this match. I can tell you that much. Match was competitive, but no one was still interested in seeing it. So it went on commercial break. So then when they came back from commercial break, the match was underway, with both men jumping over and under each other. Humberto hits a springboard arm drag, ducks Murphy, and gets thrown to the apron when he hits an enziguri. Carrillo goes up top, but Murphy trips him and he lands hard on the mat. Murphy kicks him in the back twice for a 1 count. Humberto fights out of a roar chinlock with a jawbreaker. Murphy lands a flurry of kicks, but Humberto follows up with an enziguri that knocks him to the outside. Humberto hits a twisting plancha to the floor, right beside Rollins. Seth distracts Humberto for a moment. Then Carrillo springboards into a knee from Murphy. Murphy's Law wins the match. You know what? That's why I'm so glad that NXT is doing way better than Friday Night SmackDown Raw. One reason why I'm glad that NXT is doing way better than Monday Night Raw and SmackDown is because they can be known as the #1 brand in sports entertainment now, instead of Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. But all that doesn't even matter right now. What matters is that the simple fact that Raw and SmackDown ratings need to go up quickly, as quick as possible. Because if they don't, they're going to keep falling and falling and falling and falling and falling down. And it's not even going to go up any further anymore. It's going to go down so bad that it's not going to be able to come back all the way back up quick. I'll be surprised if it goes up quick like that. The ratings. The Raw ratings, the way they are now, I'd be surprised if it goes back up quick. Probably the reason why the ratings are going down is probably because the fans ain't there. Well, that ain't got nothing to do with the fans. That's not the reason why the Raw ratings going down. I already told y'all on numerous of my reviews on my live streams of why the ratings on Raw have went down. I'm not even going to repeat myself because you already know why the ratings are going down. You all know this. You all know. You all on Twitter, over there on Twitter, you all know. All of you wrestling fans on Twitter know why the ratings are going down. So I'm not even going to repeat myself. Anyways, moving forward. Murphy continues the attack after the match, following some instruction by Rollins. Excuse me. Aleister Black runs down and attacks Murphy. He fights him into the ring and swings for Black Mass, but Murphy dodges it and flees with Rollins. King Corbin is backstage complaining that he doesn't have his own locker room. Well, Corbin, isn't it obvious? You're not on the Monday Night Raw roster. And nobody even invited you to the roster. What are you even doing on there? Oh, that's right. Wild card rule. You might as well just take yourself right back to Friday Night SmackDown, because no one on the Monday Night Raw roster even likes you, Mr. King Corbin. Yeah, he complained that he doesn't have a locker room. He then berates another ref, saying that he shouldn't have to get his own food. Nobody's bowing down, and his crown had some fingerprints on it that nobody cleaned. What's going on over on Raw? Does no one respect the King? No, he does. No one doesn't respect the King. So he then starts telling the ref how he should officiate the match. So he told the ref how he should officiate the match tonight with Drew McIntyre. Oh my God, terrible segment after terrible segment after terrible backstage promos from Corbin. Terrible. Oh my God. Why are they making King Corbin's character so much worse? They are making King Corbin's character so bad that King Corbin may just fucking leave the WWE, period, altogether. Because they're not doing good with his character, man. They're making him look embarrassing. They're making King Corbin look embarrassing. They're not using King Corbin the right way, man. That's what I'm saying about WWE. They don't use some of their talent right. And you know what? It's not the talent's fault that the Raw and SmackDown ratings are going down, man. It's Vince McMahon and the creative team and the productive team's fault that the ratings are going down. And the writers. Because they're not doing... Hell, some of them may not be doing their jobs, man. If Vince McMahon's not putting the talent on the right rosters, on the right brands, you know... I mean, for fuck's sakes, man. You're not using the talent the right way. The shows are not running, or not going right. Oh, yeah. Next, moving on. So, ladies and gentlemen, next we had Liv Morgan last night cutting a promo, sitting down, saying something you might not know about her is that her mom is her hero, she says. Hey, it's Liv. She never had much money, but she had determination, and she did not quit. 2 weeks ago, she had a match against Charlotte Flair, and she lost. But she learned that she is just like her mom. Her mother, meaning determined, and she will one day be the women's champion. Yes, I indeed believe that Liv Morgan will one day become the Raw Women's Champion. That WWE needs to keep using her right, needs to keep building her up, so she can be in the title picture. A match against her and Asuka feuding for the Raw Women's Champion would be good, would be great. I mean, they're both baby faces. I mean, a babyface can't necessarily feud with a babyface. But it's happened in the WWE before. Let's be honest. It just doesn't make sense to have a heel with a heel feuding with a heel, you know. Heel feuding with a heel, babyface feuding with a babyface. It just doesn't make sense for a lot of people. To a lot of people, it just don't make sense. Even the people on Twitter would say it doesn't make sense. I personally agree. I have to agree. I can't say I have to disagree. I have to agree. I mean, depends on the superstar, you know. Depends on how they're using the talent. I mean, to me, I think it depends on all that. You know. So, she will one day Liv Morgan will become a Raw Women's Champion. I 100% believe that. I 100% respect Liv Morgan and the promos that she's cut lately. She's doing really good. Liv Morgan is doing really good on Raw. And I think if WWE continues to use her right, I think Liv Morgan will definitely be in the title picture for an opportunity for the Raw Women's Champion. She will have an opportunity to face either Asuka or another Raw Women's Champion for the Raw Women's Championship. I don't know, it may not even be Asuka. Maybe somebody else having the Raw Women's Champion. Anyways, the NXT Women's Champion, the genetic superior, the queen, the nature girl, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair comes to the ring. The beautiful queen, the beautiful Charlotte Flair. Wow, what a gorgeous woman. Anyway, Charlotte Flair comes to the ring. She says she doesn't want to bore anyone. Well, she doesn't want to bore everyone, rather than anyone. And tells us that she is the hardest working woman in WWE. You can't disagree with that. You have to agree with that. I agree. I have the most respect for Charlotte Flair. I personally agree with Charlotte Flair. Seriously. Seriously. I don't know. You folks need to show Charlotte some respect. Seriously. Because Charlotte has been the hardest worker in WWE. Charlotte Flair has won almost all the women's titles. Except for one. The women's tag team titles. I'm telling you, if she wins that women's tag team title, she is going to be the first she's going to be another one of the new Grand Slam champions. One of the new women's Grand Slam champions. Anyway, not men's, women's. I never did say men's Grand Slam champion. I'm just saying it so, to be correct, not to be incorrect, Sometimes I can get confident in my words. Anyways. Yeah, she's the hardest working woman in WWE, and you definitely cannot deny that she is. It is true, she has been. I mean, she's won the Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion twice. Let's see, she's won the NXT Women's Champion 2 times. Yeah, she's a hard-working woman in WWE, a role model, a mentor in NXT, etc. However, she's excited to teach Bayley and her lackey that there is even levels to being a champion. Woo! Man, I just love when the queen dominates. Now, you want to talk about a promo? Now, this is what I call a nice promo. Charlotte then asks Ruby Riot to come out because she knows she has something she wants to say. However, Riot comes out and stares at Charlotte, and we're told they'll be facing off after the break. Now, you want to talk about a promo. That was a nice short promo from Charlotte Flair. That was not bad. It was not too bad. I enjoyed it. I've started to like this Charlotte Flair a lot. At first, I didn't like her when she first debuted in NXT, but now I'm starting to like her a whole lot because her entrance, because when she made it to the main roster, she had got a new entrance, Titron. She had got a new tires, new moves, and all that. That's how she got better, getting new moves, new entrance, new tires, new skills, new moves. She just got better. Mainly she got better by winning titles. That's how she was determined to get better. That's how she got real better, by winning titles. It's good that these women wrestlers are encouraging other women to be stronger, when there's events, when there's bad events like fights and arguments and all that, it's nice to see women it's nice to see female wrestlers encouraging other women to, be strong. I've seen the video. I've seen some of the videos of that. I'm sure the female superstars know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it went on commercial once they said they would be facing off after the break that night. So after the commercial break that night, it was Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riot. The match got underway, and the Ruby Riot I'm talking about is this one right here. So the match got underway, and Flair is chopping Riot down hard. Then tosses her to the outside. I actually love Charlotte Flair. I actually like Charlotte Flair. She's the real deal, the real genetic superior. She's the real queen. Folks, there is limits to being a superstar. Hey, if you want to know about being a superstar, why don't you ask Charlotte Flair? She knows a lot of it. Anyways, Flair continues chopping Ruby on the outside, but Ruby ducks one, and Charlotte hits the ring post. Ruby then twists Charlotte's arm and punches her a few times, but Flair puts her arm. It slams her into the post. Back in the ring, Flair trash talks Liv Morgan to the camera while she stomps Ruby. Woo, it's really funny. It's really funny that she trash talked Liv Morgan while she stomped Ruby. Riot counters Flair and slams her head into the buckles. I'll be surprised if they put Charlotte Flair in a triple threat match against Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. I will be so freaking surprised if they do that. I am going to be fucking surprised. I'm going to be absolutely in shock if they put her in the threat match against Ruby Riot and Liv Morgan. Because this sounds to me like this is a three-way feud. This looks like a three-way feud right here. This looks like a Charlotte Flair, Ruby Riot, and Liv Morgan feud. Plus a Bayley and Charlotte Flair feud going on in SmackDown. Plus an Io Shirai and Ruby Riot feud going on. Oh my god, I know that's got to be too much for Charlotte Flair. Oh my god, too much Charlotte Flair. You know what? It's not too much for Charlotte Flair to handle because like she said, she's the queen. She does whatever she wants. She does whatever it takes to be at the top, to stay being at the top. And she proved just that against Ruby Riot. So yeah, Flair trash talks Liv Morgan to the camera while she stomps Ruby. Ruby counters Flair and slams her head into the buckles. Then hits a back senton for a 2 count. Ruby stomps the hand of Flair, followed by a big reverse STO. Ruby Riot must have took lessons from me, apparently, because I did do a video on how Io Shirai was going to defeat Charlotte Flair. Well, which she didn't. She lost to Charlotte Flair because Charlotte Flair ultimately hit her with a stick. Anyways, Ruby looks for a crucifix and bends the fingers, but Flair stands with Ruby on her back. Something tells me Ruby Riot was watching that video I had on my Twitter. Ruby slides on for a sunset flip, but Flair fights it and stomps Ruby. Yeah, she stomps Ruby repeatedly. Riot hits a roll-up for 2, then attempts the Riot kick, but Flair catches it and slams her. Please ignore this chair because it makes a lot of noises. Anyways, Charlotte applies the figure 8 and Riot taps. Oh no. Oh no. After Charlotte Flair's victory, Bobby Lashley is about to be interviewed backstage when... Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Folks, I cannot believe they are still having this guy on TV. I cannot. Folks, and then there's people on Twitter saying that this guy's doing good. Not Bobby Lashley. Folks, not Bobby Lashley. Think of who I'm talking about. Think about it. Think about it. He was in a backstage interview with, it starts with an M. Think about it. It's a guy that I don't like. He was in a backstage interview with MVP. They still got him on TV. They're still not going to take him off. Why are they still using MVP on TV? He's a retired man. He's a retired wrestler. The guy shouldn't be wrestling. What's going on? Instead they put him as a manager for Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley does not need nobody or doesn't need a manager. He only needs himself. Let's be honest. I hope Bobby Lashley doesn't get insulted by that. But it's the truth. He only needs himself. He doesn't need MVP or Lana as his manager. I mean, let's be honest. If you know I'm not telling the truth, then something is wrong. Oh my God. No. I pushed the button again. No. There's a ghost in here, man. There's a ghost in here. I pressed the button again. How does this keep happening week after week? There must be a ghost in my room somewhere because I think somebody's telling me to do this. Somebody's got to be telling me to do this. Jody? Was it Jody? Was it Joey? I thought Jody came in here and told me to push the button. I don't know. Well, I'm not spoilering anybody on this match. Folks, who said I was doing this match? I didn't even mean to push the button. I didn't even push the button on purpose.
Ready for some mayhem?
Now, don't get me wrong, I am going to be doing this match in a video clip, though. Not going to be doing this match on my review.
Interesting.
I'm not doing this match on my review. I'm actually doing it in a video clip. I just said that. So, there you go. There's your answer. So, Bobby Lashley was about to be interviewed backstage when MVP walks up. MVP, a guy that needs to freaking retire from the WWE right now. Nobody likes this guy. His skills, his moves he's done in the ring, he hardly hasn't done anything in the ring but punch after punch. That's all he's been doing. That's all he's been doing. That's all. That's all. I mean, when he was on the roster, man, when he was younger on the SmackDown roster, man, he did good. But now, look at how he looks now. Doesn't look so good now, does he? MVP doesn't look so good now, does he? No! Because he sucks! And he can't wrestle. He's probably jealous of other wrestlers like Bobby Lashley. That's the reason why he's managing Bobby Lashley. Because he's jealous of what Bobby Lashley can do in the ring. Because Bobby Lashley has done more than MVP has. MVP tells Bobby Lashley a few weeks ago, I'm back. And where are you? In the same position you were in years ago. Yeah. Oh, but you're back, MVP, but you haven't won any titles. Oh, but you're back, and yet they gave you a qualifying match against Apollo Crews way back when it was getting close to Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Do you think that was okay? You think that was okay with them giving you a qualifying match against Apollo Crews? A match that you were going to lose anyway, which you did. You dumbo. Yeah. You lost. You lost to Apollo Crews. And now you want to be a manager. Now yet you want to sit up here and be a manager of Bobby Lashley. You think Bobby Lashley is going to soon take the fact that you're his manager? Do you think Bobby Lashley is going to want you to be his manager for any longer? No. Absolutely not. Anyways, moving on. MVP says to Charlie that he and Bobby won't be doing any work together because Lashley is too focused on clowns and his wife. Lashley gets mad, but MVP tells him to calm down and says he doesn't want to feel that full Nelson. But what would happen if he applied that hold to a WWE champion instead of a clown like R-Truth? He says he doesn't want any trouble. He just wants to know when Lashley is going to free Lashley. So he wants to know when Lashley's going to free Lashley. When MVP stops managing him and leaving him the hell alone. That's when he's gonna free Lashley. When MVP retires. No one needs MVP on the main roster, on the Monday Night Raw roster. Why did they even bring MVP back to the main roster to begin with is what I'm trying to figure out. Oh, they're working towards his retirement match. I forgot. No, I did not forget. Actually, because I knew. I just want the guy gone. He sucks. Nobody likes the guy. Not even the females on the women's, not even the WWE female superstars on the women's roster don't even like this guy. Oh yeah, when he did his VIP lounge interview with Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Asuka, Shayna Baszler didn't look too impressed with MVP, and I don't blame her. The guy fucking sucks. I wouldn't look too impressed with him either. If he did a VIP lounge with me, I wouldn't be looking too impressed with him either. I'd punch him in his face. Tell him straight up, you freaking suck. You don't freaking belong to the main roster. I will bury MVP real quick. I would bury him real quick. So, anyways. He'll probably be like, oh, is that supposed to be an insult? No, not really. I'll be like, no, not really. But it's just letting you know that you suck and you need to get off the main roster. So anyways, we see a replay of last week when the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders faced off in a baseball game. Oh yeah, by the way, MVP needs to stop being a Street Profit wannabe. He needs to get his old ass off the main roster because he doesn't deserve to be on it. I can tell you that right now. And they better not put him on SmackDown roster. They better not draft him to the SmackDown roster because that's going to make it worse for the SmackDown brand. That's just going to make it worse. Hopefully JTG's primetime partner, Shad, gets found because he was missing. He got riptide by the water. I'm guessing at the beach, at some kind of beach. I don't know where it was, but we hope Shad gets found. And, of course, everybody's praying that he gets found. Shad Gaspard. Remember Shad Gaspard? One of the members of the Primetime Players from SmackDown years ago? Yeah, he's gone missing. And the wife had told everybody to call 911 if they saw him. Well, we hope Shad gets found and safe. His 10-year-old son is safe. He got rescued by the rescuers. So, hopefully Shad gets found. And safe and sound. Hopefully he's safe and sound. Anyways. The Street, that's funny that I mentioned Primetime Players, JTG and Shad, because the Street Profits are just like the Primetime Players. Primetime Players were just like the Street Profits. Street Profits will probably pay tribute to the Primetime Players. I mean, even though they're not dead, but I'm just saying. Rescue efforts is still ongoing for Shad Gaspard, though. Seriously. I'm telling you, prayers are definitely, a lot of people are praying and hoping that he comes out alive. I hope the guy's okay, too. I mean, for everybody's sake, they hope the guy's okay. Anyways. So, yeah, they show a replay of last week when the Street Profits and Viking Raiders faced off in a basketball game. Folks, this is not basketball. I shouldn't have to remind you that. This is sports entertainment. We shouldn't be seeing basketball on Monday Night Raw. We shouldn't be seeing basketball on wrestling sports entertainment on TV. We shouldn't be seeing that. Shouldn't be seeing basketball, especially given the fact that COVID-19 is still spreading around. I mean, technically, we shouldn't be. Seasons should be suspended, and they still are. But yet, they showing the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders on TV last week playing a basketball game. Really? Now, I know some of the NBA players had to reply to that and say, now they know. Blah, 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 blah. This and that. I'm not even going to go any further. But the Street Profits then are seen walking through the woods, confident about axe throwing. Oh my God. They got Street Profits and the Viking Raiders. An axe throwing match. You got to be freaking kidding me. What are they doing? The tag team division is an embarrassment to everybody, to me, everybody, and JD from NY. And all the other podcasters. The tag team division is an embarrassment to everybody right now. The tag team division is embarrassing. I just can't believe the tag team division has gotten this bad, this worse. I've never, in my million years, I've never seen the tag team division this freaking bad. This freaking worse than what it is right now. This tag team division's got to get it together, man. They need to stop playing games. The fun in games is over. It's time to get serious. Show everybody what you can really do instead of putting Viking Raiders and Street Profits in action games and basketball games. Folks, this is not sports, and this is not real sports. This is not soccer. It's not baseball. This is WWE, for fuck's sakes. Jeez, it's like WWE is even trying to be funny. It's trying to piss the fans off by giving them these Monday Night Raw and SmackDown terrible shows. I mean, hell, they ain't pissing me off giving me these terrible freaking shows. Us as podcasters happen to do reviews every week, and yet they're continuing to give us better shows, and they're continuing to piss all the podcasters off. I mean, technically, if you look at it, WWE has pissed off JD for years. JD has been doing his podcast for years, and they have pissed him off for years. I've seen his podcast. I've seen a lot of his podcast videos. The guy is a genius. The guy does good on his podcast off the script, and I will definitely be watching it after my Monday Night Raw review. And believe me, what he says about Monday Night Raw, if he's what the bad things he says about Monday Night Raw, I actually am going to believe him, and because he's actually correct about Monday Night Raw, about last night's Monday Night Raw. It did suck. Yes, you better believe I don't care what you all think. I mean, well, I do care, but as far as some of you not liking JD, I don't care what you think, I don't even care if you tell me not to watch JD's podcast, because I'm going to watch it anyway, because I enjoyed this guy's podcast. He's hilarious. I think he's a genius guy, and he knows what he's talking about WWE. He knows what's going on in WWE more than anybody else on Twitter. Let's be honest, more than anybody else on Twitter. Heck, even more than most of the podcasters like Wrestle Talk and let's see what else. Wrestle Talk and Wrestle Unlimited, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. He knows more than all those podcasters. I'm sure he knows more than Macho T too. Heck, he even knows more than me. I'm just gonna put that out there too. Anyways, that is until... Anyways, so the Street Profits then are seen walking through the woods, confident about axe throwing. That is until the arrival at the site where Eric and Ivor are in a Viking camp with tents, fires, and chanting. The Raiders welcome them and say they have provided the smoke. Dawkins starts to say they don't mean actual smoke, but Ford stops him and says that you have to accept anything an axe-wielding Viking offers you. Ivar then shows them how to throw an axe, and he hits the bullseye. Ford is ready to just leave, but Dawkins says they can do it. Yeah, he says they can do it. Back in the area, there are balloons and a red carpet in the ring. Kairi Sane is there, and she speaks Japanese. Welcoming Asuka. Oh, man. Here we go. It's the Asuka Kairi Sane segment. Oh man, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for. This is where the tournament. This is where, you know what? Well, the tournament shouldn't even took place then. It should have took place before Asuka being handed the title. The tournament. You know what? I think the tournament should have been. It should have been a tournament first, and then at the end determine, you know, whether Asuka or somebody or Shayna Baszler or one of them from, you know, in the tournament, which one of them will win to be crowned the new World Women's Champion. I don't know if I'm making sense what I'm saying or not. I'm trying to. So now we've gotten to the Asuka Kairi Singh segment. So we're not referring to this Asuka, of course. This Asuka. So, yeah, Kairi Sane is there. She speaks Japanese, welcoming Asuka to the ring. The Raw Women's Champion can't believe the scene Kairi has crafted and talks a lot of Japanese. She says she is so happy for Becky Lynch and can't believe she is champion. Kairi then says tonight is all about Asuka because she has been NXT Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion, WWE Women's Tag Team Champion, and now Raw Women's Champion, and Grand Slam, meaning what she's saying is she's the new Grand Slam Women's Champion. Grand Slam Champion. Kairi starts playing a flute, but oh Lord, folks, turn the channel, like what JD from NY says, turn the channel, because the abomination of domination is coming to ring. You know what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm talking about. Folks, turn the channel. Nia Jax. Nia Jax is coming to ring. Nia Jax came in the ring last night. Yeah, she was on TV. Turn the channel, because Nia Jax came in the ring to interrupt, and she looked angry. Jax says there is nothing to celebrate because Asuka was literally handed the title. Well, she gonna be really angry when I'm about to say about her. Well, first of all, she doesn't even deserve a title opportunity for Asuka's title. She doesn't even deserve to be in a title picture yet. How is she gonna get angry when she doesn't even deserve to be in a title picture? Talk about Nia Jax. I mean, really. What has she done? She's only been in 4 matches. How does she deserve to be in a title picture? And she's only been in 4 matches, including 1 against Deonna Purrazzo, 2 against Kairi Sane, and 1 in the one which was the 6 women's Money in the Bank match, along with the men's Money in the Bank match that went on at the same time. So Jack says there's nothing to celebrate because Asuka was literally handed the title. Becky is on the maternity leave, and Asuka lucked her way into a temp job. But it won't be long until she loses that title. And then Nia Jax said there was only one outcome when they get in the ring, and when she wins, there will be a real party. Asuka did clobber Nia. She got mad. That was just funny how she just got at Nia. She got mad. But it was funny how Asuka actually got at Nia, because Asuka didn't like what Nia said. She got pissed. She knew what she was saying in English. She knew it. She knew what she was saying in English. She got mad. I was just laughing how the way Asuka got at Nia Jax. It was funny. It was just funny. It was really funny though. Asuka did clobber Nia with repeated forearms and a hip attack that knocks her from the ring. Talks trash. Asuka talks trash in Japanese as Nia retreats. Oh man, you never make the Empress of Tomorrow angry, that's for sure. But you know what? The thing that got me was the fact that when Asuka, it's the simple fact. when Asuka did a hip attack and knocked her from the ring, it didn't even phase Nia Jax. She was on the ground and it still didn't phase her. That's my thing. So, backstage, it seemed like Nia Jax would be holding her body or her legs. She'd be holding her arms. It seemed like it would hurt her going down that floor. But it didn't. Didn't look like it. So anyways, backstage, Charlie interviews the trash King Corbin, the garbage King Corbin, the character, you know, his name changed to King Corbin. He's not Baron Corbin anymore. He's King Corbin now. He needs to be referred to as the garbage King Corbin. That's what he needs to be referring to. She asks if he is having any doubts considering how successful Drew has been. Corbin says he chose this match. He knows Drew. He carried him for over a year. But he knows Mctire is dangerous. He beat Brock Lesnar after all. But he's prone to mistakes. He will beat him tonight. And the next time they're in the ring will be WrestleMania, where he will be the new WWE champion. Mctire was shown watching the promo. But it said later on they would get a return of the Kevin Owens show with Selena Vega and her clientele, or her clients. So it was R-Truth. It was Bobby Lashley versus R-Truth. I'm just going to tell you what simply happened with the match. It's going to be real quick because this match sucked. I didn't like it. So I'm going to read to you what happened with this match real quick. So, the match begins and Truth leaves the ring and becomes Pretty Ricky, who begs Lashley for a fight. Lashley runs out and slams him into the barricade. Lashley drags Truth around the ring on his shoulders and smashes him into the ring post. Back in the ring, Lashley slaps Truth and tells him to fight Truth. Truth unloads, but Lashley drops him with a lariat. Lashley then delivers some knees to the gut and applies a full Nelson. He rings the Nelson, then turns it into a slam. He lifts Truth again, applies the full Nelson, and Truth taps. MVP comes to the stage and applauds Lashley's efforts. Lana is shown watching on a monitor backstage. She screams bloody murder, throwing things around. Asuka and Kairi are backstage celebrating, but we see Nia Jax standing in the background watching. Told you that didn't phase Nia Jax. I told y'all that jump didn't phase her. It looked like it didn't phase her, and it didn't. She's still standing. I told you. How in the world are you gonna take Nia Jax down? How is she gonna do it? Why would they put Nia Jax in a title match against Asuka anyway, knowing Asuka is gonna have a hard time taking down Nia Jax? It's not making sense. That's what I'm saying. What the heck, man? What in the hell? It's not making sense. I mean, it just, I don't know, it really didn't make sense. Seriously. And then, not to mention, you're going to have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross on Raw defending their titles, which didn't make sense. They're not even Raw brand superstars. They're SmackDown brand. They're on the SmackDown brand, not on the Raw brand. I mean, the wild card rule from the beginning just doesn't make sense. I think they should just cancel that. It's not cool. It's not making sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's pretty lame, if you ask me. No offense, pretty lame. I don't like it. So, here's what happened with the women's title match. It was a championship match. Here's what happened with that. So, Billie Kay starts against Alexa Bliss, but Peyton Royce quickly tags in. Bliss kicks Kay from the ring, then slams Royce down and hits double knees to the midsection. Cross tags in and hits a flying crossbody, but Kay breaks up the pin. Cross reverses an Irish whip and avoids a kick from Royce. Kay blind tags in, but Cross sees it, attacks her on the apron. Kay comes back in and hits a suplex for a 2 count. Bliss attacks and slams Kay a few times before drop kicking her. Bliss hits insult to injury. Royce breaks up the pin. Cross gets Royce out the ring. Kay big boots Cross down, but Bliss punches her in the face and sets her into position. Bliss hits Twisted Bliss, but Royce breaks it up. Royce then tosses Bliss into the ring post a few times, so the referee disqualifies them. So winners were Bliss and Cross. That's the second week in a row a tag team match ended in disqualification for absolutely no reason. The Iconics are beside themselves with anger and grief. Kairi Sane is still playing her flute backstage when Nia Jax comes up behind her and slams her into some production boxes. So we went on commercial. Then, back from commercial, the Iconics are backstage arguing, and Billy slaps Peyton in the face. They both stop and start crying and hug. We get a lengthy look at Part 2 of The Last Ride, the excellent WWE Network series about The Undertaker. Part 3 drops this Sunday. A replay of last Monday is shown, in which Shayna Baszler beat Natalya. Baszler and Natalya will be in action again tonight. Last night, they were in action last night, because Monday Night Raw came on last night. So, they see a doctor icing Kairi Sane, and Asuka is concerned. Asuka tells her to stay put. She's going after Nia Jax. Jax is walking backstage when Asuka runs up and rents in Japanese. Nia walks past her, so Asuka pulls her by the hair and knocks her in the head. Okay. And here was the next match that took place last night on Raw. The match we've already saw last week, and the favor of the match was Shayna Baszler. So, yeah, it was Shayna Baszler versus Natalya. The favor to win this match against Shayna Baszler. The submission magician. It was a submission match. She always wins when it comes to submission matches. She's a submission magician master. The bell rings and Baszler hits a side headlock takeover. Natty shoots her off but gets dropped with a shoulder. Baszler goes for a camel clutch, but Natalya avoids it and attempts the sharpshooter, but Shayna counters into an ankle lock. Ooh. Kringle must have taught her that. Natalya breaks free and Shayna immediately goes to work on the left arm. Natalya tries to fight out, but Shayna slams her down by the hair. Baszler lifts Natty's leg and stomps her gut over and over. Shayna attempts the sharpshooter, but Natty counters and applies her own. Baszler crawls to the ropes, but they don't matter in this match. So she uses the apron to pull herself out and free. Natalya hits a baseball slide, then batters Shayna and tosses her back inside. Natalya goes to a knee bar, but Baszler rolls over and performs an incredible transition into the Kafuda clutch, and Natty taps. So the winner is Shayna Baszler again. Baszler leaves and the crew starts setting up for the KO show, but Natty won't leave the ring. She kicks the ropes and starts throwing the set dressing. Samoa Joe says this behavior is beneath her and what she represents. Zelina's Vega's men are all arguing backstage again. She stops them and says they are going out there as a cohesive unit. She asked each of them if they understand her, and they comply. Kevin Owens show was back, and the man himself comes to the ring, saddened by the destruction Natalya caused. He says he hasn't been around in a while, and that's because in chasing his WrestleMania moment, he got pretty banged up. But the good news is he's back and ready to go. And even though he's lacking a set, he's got some great guests for his show tonight. Zelina Vega, Andrade, Austin Theory, and Angel Garza. Yep, the trio. I don't know what faction this would be. They don't have a fashion name for these guys. They will if Andrade and Angel Garza's together. Zelina Vega as their manager. Owens stands on the apron and says he's excited to have them here tonight, but Vega cuts him off and says he's sick of people like KO because they're trying to capitalize on one tiny argument, but they're a solid unit with 3 street survivors and her, the best the business has seen in a long time. Vega then asks KO why he's being disrespectful and standing on the apron. Owens says he's on the apron because he doesn't want the ring to be crowded, because they aren't, he said they aren't his only guesses. They aren't his only guesses, and they're familiar with him. Apollo Crews storms the ring and attacks Andrade. They brawl out of the ring, and Owens tries to pull Crews off, while Andrade's companions do the same. That was Kevin Owens with Apollo Crews. Yep, it was KO with Apollo Crews. Versus Angel Garza. Which, by the way, happened to be this. Which, by the way, wait a minute. Yeah, which, by the way, happens to be this Angel Garza. And Andrade. Yup. So here's what happened that match. They start with Crews and Garza, but Apollo's forced Andrade. He's focused on, he's focused. Apollo's focused on Andrade on the apron, Garza rips off the pants and tosses them at Apollo, but he gets knocked down for his troubles. Apollo hits a suplex and tags Owens, who unloads forearms to Garza, followed by stomps and a senton. Garza counters a body slam and tags Andrade, who uses the ropes to attack KO, then hits a running kick. Andrade with stomps and chops in the corner. But KO comes back with a lariat. Tags made to Crews and Garza, and Apollo knocks Andrade to the outside and slams Garza. Vega gets on the apron to distract Apollo while Austin Theory swings a punch and hits Garza by accident. Apollo hits the sit out powerbomb for the win. So in the ring, Theory apologizes to Garza, but Vega and Andrade don't buy it. Andrade attacks Theory and Vega eggs him on. Garza joined in and they pound Theory, dragging him from the ring and slamming him into the barricade. Vega yells that she should never have believed in him and slaps him. And Garza and Andrade toss him into the timekeeper's area. Charlie interviews Drew Mctire backstage, asks how he stays on top of things when challenges can come from so many places. Drew says he has to stay on top of his game, but he's having a great time, and tonight he gets his dream match against Corbin. Drew says he spent a lot of time with the King, and he is generally a terrible person. And now he comes to Raw and challenges the champion in his yard. Well, tonight he has a Claymore fit for a King. See more footage of the Viking Raiders performing some impressive axe throws, followed by Ford and Dawkins trying their own toss and failing miserably. Ford asks for quiet that he wants to get his tiger woods on, and Ibra thinks there is a real tiger in the woods. Commercial break. They were back from commercial break. They were back for more axe throwing, and Dawkins misses his first shot, sending the axe into the barrel, spilling beer. The Vikings get mad if Ford offers them his red cup. Dawkins says, "This ain't nothing like Thor." So it's Aleister Black versus Murphy with Seth Rollins. Bell rings and Black runs at Murphy, unloading on him, beating him into the corner. Murphy fires back and they trade shots like crazy until Black lands some big kicks. Yes, Black lands some big kicks. Murphy rolls to the floor, and Black goes after kicking him against the barricade. Austin Theory is still down in the timekeeper's area, and Seth Rollins appreciates him. Black kicks the chest of Murphy a few more times, but misses one. It hits the ring post. Murphy gets him back in the ring and goes up top, but gets kicked out of midair. Black hits a switch knee to Murphy, then lifts him with his foot, but Seth helps Theory up and tells him to attack. Theory storms the ring and attacks Black. So that gives them a disqualification. And I don't even want to read about the axe throwing contest because I wasn't interested in it. So Charlie interviews Apollo Crews and asks if he has something to prove. Apollo says of course. He felt like things were finally starting to click for him. He can't waste any more time wondering what could happen. And he had to do something. And that final piece is falling into place. And he challenges Andrade to another title match next week. Vega walks up and says Apollo can cut his losses and retain one good knee. Or he can get in the ring with Andrade. Apollo laughs and says he'll take his chances. He asks where Andrade is and if he's scared he'll get slapped again next week. He will put that final piece into place. Baron Corbin makes his entrance before the match began. MVP Bobby Lashley comes to the stage. MVP apologizes for his introduction and heaps praise on both men. He and Lashley have a good personal interest in this match. Lashley takes the microphone and says he is putting Drew on notice. He's coming for the WWE Championship, and if he has to take it from his cold, dead hands, so be it. Main event, Drew McIntyre versus King Corbin. This main event was awful. I've watched it. Main event's awful. WWE's got to do a whole lot better. Main event gets underway and they lock up with Drew forcing Corbin to the corner. McIntyre chops Corbin, but the King fires back with the right hands and delivers some blows to the ribs. Corbin hits a shoulder tackle, but Drew comes back and knocks him out of the ring with a lariat. McIntyre clotheslines Corbin over the barricade and climbs over it himself and clotheslines the King back over it. Drew puts Corbin back in the ring and lines up a claymore, but Corbin rolls from the ring. The King slams McIntyre into the barricade, then goes to the ring post. Back in the ring, Corbin chops Drew, then hits an out-in clothesline for a 1 count. McIntyre fires off some chops to the chest, followed by a kick. Corbin tosses him over the ropes and hangs him on the ropes. Corbin slams McIntyre's head into the ring post, then drags him to the top rope for a superplex and a 2 count. McIntyre starts to rally and hits an axe handle from the top rope, then a spine buster for a 2 count. Corbin comes back and tosses the champion into the ring post, then hits a sidewalk slam. McIntyre hits a future shot DDT, then takes to the corner and counts down, but runs right into a deep six. Mctire ducks Corbin and hits a Glasgow kiss. Corbin slides out the ring. Back in, it looks for the clothesline, but Drew ducks and hits a Claymore kick for the win. After the match, Mctire tries to glad Lashley into a fight, but Omri wants to. But MVP stops him. MVP points his wrist and says, "In good time." And the show went off. Folks, this show last night sucked. I am ending this live stream. Peace, I'm out. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. I am getting off. This is the end of your May the 18th, 2020 Monday Night Raw review.